Hello, children. Today we will start with the lesson Challenges Faced by Indian Democracy. Now, when we say democracy, we mean that it is a continuous living process. Mere adoption of democracy does not bring it into practice. There has to be constant and conscious efforts to sustain democracy. There are a lot of challenges that we have to overcome to ensure that democracy is implemented at all levels of the society. In India, democracy appears in the form of voting, elections, government structures, judiciary, etc. The measures to adopt for real cultivation of democracy is inclusion of all social components, autonomy to social institutions, empowerment of citizens, and protection of human values. The values to be followed to ensure democracy is deep rooted are freedom, equality, fraternity and justice, peace, development, humanitarianism, etc. Now, why are we saying all these things? A lot of nations say that we are a democratic country, but in reality, very few of them have provisions to ensure that the rights and freedom of the people are protected, and very few nations give importance to the welfare of people. Many democracies are facing the challenge of military takeover, spread of democratic values at the global level, and adoption of true democracy by all nations is a major challenge. To make democracy more meaningful in India, the government of India has decentralized power and adopted the policy of reservation for women and weaker sections of society. But what are the challenges before Indian democracy? The first one is communalism and terrorism. Religious conflict and the resultant terrorism is one of the main challenges before the Indian democracy. Social stability gets hampered due to increasing religious hostility. People's participation in the democratic process reduces to a great extent due to terrorism. Left extremist or Naxalism. Now, Naxalism began as a movement to remove injustice against aggressive landless farmers and tribal people. But today, Naxalism has become a violent struggle and it has moved away from the problems of farmers and tribal people. Instead, violent measures are being adopted to oppose government policies. The police forces are being attacked, and such other tactics are used by the Naxalite groups. Corruption. In India, the corruption is said to be very high in the public sector. Government's working capacity is reduced due to this. People become dissatisfied about the entire governmental system and they lose their faith in the government. Corruption leads to delay in governmental work, poor public services and facilities, and different financial blunders happen. Corruption in the electoral process, bogus voting, bribing the voters, abducting the voters, and such other things reduces people's confidence. The next challenge is criminalization of politics. Increased participation of criminals in the political process is another serious problem. Sometimes political parties give candidature to people having a criminal background, facing criminal allegations and allegations of corruption. This increases the role of money and muscle power in politics. The next type of challenge is social challenge. Apart from all the challenges that we have seen till now, Indian democracy also faces certain social challenges like unemployment, unequal distribution of resources, increasing gap between rich and poor, caste-based issues, all these need to be resolved to make Indian democracy successful. Now, there is another problem related to family monopoly. Now, family monopoly in politics is a major problem before democracy. Monopoly of just one family in politics reduces democratic space. Common people cannot participate in the public sector. Because people give importance to their own family members and to their own kin, people who actually are skilled or actually have potential, they are sidelined. Let's see what are the steps required to make Indian democracy successful. Majority opinion is very important in democracy. A political party which gets majority of votes comes to power. Parliament takes all decisions by majority. When importance is given to majority, it is possible that the minority or in those who are in marginal communities, they may be sidelined or their interests may not be given importance to. Though democracy is a government by majority, minorities should also be included in the process of decision making, which means interests and opinions of every single person in the society should be considered important. All religious, linguistic, ethnic, and caste groups should get equal opportunity to participate in the decision-making process. Judiciary in India has made conscious efforts to make political process transparent. To prevent criminalization of politics, judiciary has adopted measures like strict punishment to criminals and prohibiting criminals from participating in political process. To make democracy successful in India, it is not just sufficient to make efforts at the level of government, administration, and judiciary. Every person at social and individual level should make conscious efforts towards it. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Gram Samruddhi Yojana, self-help groups, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, and such other projects are undertaken at the level of government and administration. To increase participation of women in politics, 50% seats are reserved in local self-governing institutions. It is important to increase participation of people at all levels. Only if such participation increases, especially at the level of government, it will help in changing public policies. Now, public policies are made through interaction with the people. Interaction with those who are not in power is also important for the success of democracy. For the success of democracy, everyone should keep in mind that we are responsible citizens of the nation. And we not only have rights, but we also have duties. The values of equality, liberty, social justice, secularism, all these should be kept in mind and should be implemented even in our personal life. So children, with this, we complete explanation for this lesson. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and take care.